Megastar trade. Shocking insider report. Dodgers about to land a megastar in Blockbuster trade. A major insider report just dropped that has the entire Dodgers universe buzzing with excitement and anticipation. We're talking about a potential blockbuster trade that could simultaneously fix the Los Angeles Dodgers outfield situation, shore up their infield depth, and provide the kind of versatile, high-quality player that has become a trademark of successful Dodgers teams over the past decade. This isn't just another rumor or baseless speculation. This is a legitimate trade proposal involving real prospects, real money, and a real target who could make an immediate impact for a Dodgers team looking to three-peat as World Series champions. Buckle up, because what I'm about to reveal is going to have you questioning whether Andrew Friedman is about to pull off another masterstroke or if the price tag is simply too steep for what we're getting in return. Before we dive deep into the details of this potential trade that has Dodgers fans divided, I want to take just a moment to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who has been watching these videos, liking, commenting, subscribing, and supporting this channel. Your engagement is what allows me to make this my job, to cover the team we all love day in and day out, and to bring you the latest news and analysis as it happens. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you, and I don't take your support for granted. Now let's get into what could be one of the most significant moves the Dodgers make this offseason. The winter is officially upon us, and with December 1st now in the books, the Major League Baseball winter meetings are right around the corner. For those unfamiliar with how the offseason works, the winter meetings are when things really start to heat up. All the general managers from all 30 teams converge in one location. Face-to-face negotiations happen in hotel lobbies and conference rooms, and deals that have been percolating for weeks or months suddenly come together in a matter of hours. This is when the MLB offseason truly comes alive. So far, this offseason has been remarkably quiet. Sure, we've seen a couple of free agents sign here and there. There have been a few minor trades, nothing that really moved the needle. The Sonny Gray trade to the Boston Red Sox was probably the most significant move we've seen, but besides that, it's been crickets. The big names are still available, the major trades haven't materialized, and teams seem to be in a holding pattern waiting for something, anything, to break the logjam. The winter meetings should change all of that. When you get all these decision makers in the same place at the same time, deals start happening fast. And the Los Angeles Dodgers are right in the middle of all the speculation and rumors. Bleacher Report recently released an article discussing 6 fresh trade ideas for various players, including Cole Ragans, Ketel Marte, and others at the 2025 Winter MLB meetings. One of those trade proposals directly involves the Dodgers, which is obviously why we're talking about it today. The target in question? A versatile utility player from the St. Louis Cardinals who could fill multiple holes on the Dodgers roster with one acquisition. The player we're talking about is Brendan Donovan, and if that name sounds familiar to longtime Dodgers fans, it's because this isn't the first time his name has been connected to Los Angeles in trade rumors. The Cardinals, who have already made it clear they're willing to move pieces after sending Sonny Gray to Boston, may be looking to deal their premium utility man as part of a larger organizational restructuring. And the Dodgers, always on the lookout for versatile players who can contribute in multiple ways, make perfect sense as a trade partner. Now, some people might hear the term utility guy and immediately dismiss this as not worthy of major prospect capital. But Brendan Donovan is not your typical utility player. This is a premier talent who happens to have the ability to play multiple positions at a high level. He spent the majority of his time at second base this past season, but his versatility and his production make him far more valuable than a typical bench player or jack-of-all-trades type. Let's look at the numbers from Donovan's 2024 season because they tell a compelling story. The 28-year-old posted a .353 on-base percentage, which is excellent and exactly the kind of thing the Dodgers value. He drew 42 walks in 468 at-bats, while striking out only 67 times. That strikeout rate is phenomenal in today's game, where so many hitters are swinging and missing constantly. He collected 132 hits during the season. Now, his counting stats of 50 RBI and 10 home runs might not jump off the page, but context matters. Donovan was batting near the top of the Cardinals' order for much of the season, which naturally limits RBI opportunities compared to someone hitting in the middle of the lineup. For a Dodgers team that's looking for outfield help and also needs to secure their middle infield depth, following Tommy Edman's injury concerns, Brendan Donovan represents a perfect opportunity to address both needs with a single acquisition. But how exactly does one player solve problems at multiple positions? Let me explain. First, let's look at the history and positional versatility of Brendan Donovan because it's truly remarkable. According to MLB.com, Donovan became the only player in the modern era since 1900 to start at 4 different infield positions in the first 4 starts of his career. Think about how rare that is. He played every infield position and both corner outfield spots during his rookie season. The breakdown shows he appeared defensively at second base for 264 innings, third base for 109 innings, right field for 143 innings, and left field for 144 innings. That versatility hasn't been a one-time thing or a rookie experiment. Donovan has continued to play all over the field in the years since. He's been a regular at second base, filled in at third base when Nolan Arenado needs a rest, played both corner outfield positions, and done it all while maintaining quality defensive metrics. This is exactly the kind of player the Dodgers have built their recent success around. Think about Chris Taylor and Kike Hernandez, 2 utility players who became absolutely invaluable to championship teams because of their ability to play multiple positions well. And unlike some utility players who can play everywhere but don't really hit well enough to be everyday players, Donovan absolutely rakes. His batting average was 287 in 2022, 278 in 2024, 284 in 2023, and 281 in his rookie season of 2022 when he played 126 games. Those are not utility player batting averages. Those are starting player batting averages. His OPS might be less than ideal compared to true sluggers, but his on-base percentage and batting average speak volumes about the type of hitter he is. He makes consistent contact, he gets on base at a high rate, and he doesn't strike out much. For a Dodgers team that already has plenty of power in the lineup, adding someone who can consistently put the ball in play and get on base is incredibly valuable. Not to mention his wins above replacement statistics are always solid, especially impressive given the positional versatility that can sometimes suppress WAR calculations. All right, I've built up the suspense long enough. Let's talk about what this trade proposal actually entails, what the Dodgers would be giving up to acquire Brendan Donovan from the St. Louis Cardinals. Here are the specifics. The Los Angeles Dodgers would acquire infielder/outfielder Brendan Donovan. In exchange, the St. Louis Cardinals would receive shortstop prospect Emil Morales, right-handed pitcher River Ryan, and outfield prospect Kendall George. Now, you probably recognize at least a couple of those names, particularly River Ryan, who was in the big league rotation before requiring Tommy John surgery. Let me break down exactly what the Dodgers would be surrendering in this trade proposal. Emil Morales is currently ranked as the Dodgers' number 7 prospect. River Ryan, who without the Tommy John surgery might have been a significant contributor this past season, is ranked as the number 9 prospect in the organization. And Kendall George, an outfielder with some upside, checks in as the 24th ranked prospect for Los Angeles. So we're talking about 3 prospects, 2 of them in the top 10 of the Dodgers farm system, all going to St. Louis for one 28-year-old utility player with team control through 2027. The immediate question becomes, is that too much? Is Andrew Friedman overpaying for a utility guy, or is this actually a shrewd move that addresses multiple needs while the cost is still manageable? The Dodgers have a long history of success with versatile players. Chris Taylor and Kike Hernandez have been the mainstays of that utility role for what feels like a decade now, though it hasn't quite been that long. Both players came to Los Angeles and became fan favorites precisely because of their ability to fill in anywhere and produce at a high level. Brendan Donovan, at age 28 and entering his prime years, could be the next in that lineage of highly successful utility players who come to the Dodgers and thrive in that role. The fit just makes sense on so many levels. The Dodgers need outfield depth. Check, Donovan can play both corner outfield spots. The Dodgers need middle infield insurance with Tommy Edman's injury situation uncertain. Check, Donovan has played hundreds of innings at second base and can fill in at short or third if needed. The Dodgers value players who make contact and get on base. Check, Donovan struck out only 67 times while drawing 42 walks and posting a 353 OBP. The Dodgers like versatility that allows them to maximize their roster construction. Check, Donovan has proven he can start at multiple positions or come off the bench and contribute. Now, I want to go back to this trade proposal and get your honest opinion, because this is the kind of move that will have Dodgers fans divided. Here are the details one more time. The Los Angeles Dodgers acquire Brendan Donovan. In exchange, the Dodgers send shortstop prospect Emil Morales, right-handed pitcher River Ryan, and outfield prospect Kendall George to the St. Louis Cardinals, 3 top 25 prospects in the organization for one established big leaguer with multiple years of team control. So, let me know in the comments right now. Would you accept this trade? If yes, type T for trade. If no, type P for pass. I want to know where Dodgers Nation stands on this potential deal. Are you willing to part with 3 prospects, including 2 top 10 guys, to get Brendan Donovan? Or do you think the price is too steep and the Dodgers should look elsewhere? Personally, I'm leaning toward T for trade, though I'll admit the one piece I struggle with giving up is River Ryan. I know what he's capable of when healthy. We saw flashes of a legitimate major league starter before the Tommy John surgery. Obviously, that surgery can dramatically change the trajectory of a pitcher's career, and there's always risk involved with whether he comes back at the same level. But River Ryan showed enough in his limited time that I think he could be a valuable piece of the Dodgers' rotation in the future. However, in almost every trade proposal we've discussed and analyzed over the past few months, River Ryan's name keeps coming up, and there's a reason for that. He has value around the league. Other organizations see what the Dodgers see in terms of potential. And if you're the Dodgers and you believe Brendan Donovan fills multiple needs and helps you win a 3rd straight World Series, then sacrificing a pitcher who won't be back until mid-season at the earliest and may not be the same pitcher when he returns becomes an easier decision. According to Joel Reuter of Bleacher Report, Donovan has team control through 2027 and a very reasonable projected salary of $5.4 million for his 2026 season. That's incredible value for a player of his caliber and versatility. The Cardinals will need to be seriously motivated to move him because his versatility means there will be a long list of potential suitors. Multiple teams will be calling about Brendan Donovan if the Cardinals make him available. This is where the Dodgers have a built-in advantage. The Dodgers are a premier organization with one of the best farm systems in baseball. When Andrew Friedman calls other general managers, they listen because they know he has the prospect capital to make deals happen. The Dodgers can put together packages that other teams simply can't match, and that gives them a leg up in trade negotiations for players like Donovan. Let's talk about Emil Morales for a moment because he's the headliner of this prospect package and the piece that might give some Dodgers fans pause about making this deal. Morales is one of the top 10 prospects in the entire organization. In his stateside debut, he hit .314 with a .396 on-base percentage and a .515 slugging percentage. He smashed 24 doubles, 14 home runs, and drove in 70 runs in just 89 games split between rookie ball and single A. Those are eye-popping numbers for a young prospect, the kind of production that gets evaluators excited about future potential. Some analysts believe Morales could become a consensus top 50 prospect in all of baseball by the summer if he continues developing at this rate. So there's definitely risk involved in trading him. You're giving up a player who could potentially become an everyday big leaguer, maybe even a star, for a known commodity in Brendan Donovan. But here's the reality of prospect evaluation. For every prospect who becomes a star, there are 10 who never make it or become fringe big leaguers. Emil Morales is currently in single A. He's years away from contributing to the major league team. The Dodgers have a championship window open right now, and they need players who can help them win today, not 3 or 4 years from now. That's not a knock on Morales or his potential. It's simply acknowledging that when you're trying to win your 3rd straight World Series, you value proven commodities over long-term projects. That's why you add River Ryan and Kendall George to the package. It's not just about one elite prospect. It's about giving the Cardinals multiple players with different timelines and different ceilings. River Ryan, when healthy, could be a major league starter potentially as soon as late 2025 or 2026. Kendall George is an outfield prospect with some tools who might develop into a useful player. You're giving St. Louis options and depth, which is what rebuilding or retooling teams need. The big question that I think Dodgers fans need to ask themselves is this: if they do acquire Brendan Donovan, does that solve the outfield problem? Is that the fix for the infield questions created by Tommy Edman's injury and the uncertainty around his recovery timeline? I think in many ways, Donovan is the ultimate do-it-all fixer for roster construction purposes. But there are still some legitimate questions to consider. Donovan isn't a true center fielder, so if the Dodgers were hoping for someone who could patrol center every day, he's not that guy. He's a corner outfielder who can also play all over the infield. That's still incredibly valuable, but it's worth noting the limitations. In the infield, Donovan is probably best suited for second base, though he's capable at third and has even seen some time at short. With the Dodgers potentially needing to cover for Edman early in the season, Donovan gives them that flexibility without forcing them to rush Edman back or rely too heavily on lesser options. I keep coming back to the Chris Taylor and Kike Hernandez comparison because I think it's so apt. When those players first arrived in Los Angeles, there were questions about whether utility guys could really provide significant value to a championship contender. Both players definitively answered that question by becoming integral parts of World Series winning teams. Brendan Donovan is just 28 years old, right in his prime, and under team control through 2027. If the Dodgers wanted to extend that control beyond 2027, they could work on an extension. This could be a long-term solution, not just a short-term fix. There were reports about a month ago suggesting that instead of pursuing the big fish like Kyle Tucker or Cody Bellinger, the Dodgers might try to find a plug-and-play type player who addresses needs without breaking the bank or sacrificing the entire farm system. Brendan Donovan fits that description perfectly. He's not going to cost $300 million in free agency. He's not going to require the Dodgers to give up their 5 best prospects, but he is going to cost something, as evidenced by this 3-prospect package, because he's a legitimately good player with years of control remaining. Andrew Friedman has built his reputation on making smart, calculated moves that maximize value while minimizing risk. Sometimes that means making a big splash in free agency, like they did with Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Other times it means identifying undervalued players or making shrewd trades that address multiple needs efficiently. The potential Brendan Donovan trade falls into that second category. It's not flashy, it's not going to generate the same headlines as signing a superstar, but it could be exactly the kind of move that helps the Dodgers three-peat as champions. The winter meetings are going to be absolutely crucial for determining the Dodgers' final roster construction heading into 2025. We know they have needs. We know Andrew Friedman is actively working to address those needs. And we know that trades like this Brendan Donovan proposal are likely being discussed right now behind closed doors. Whether this specific trade happens or not, you can bet the Dodgers are exploring every option to improve the team and maximize their championship window. So here's what I want from you. Go down to the comments section right now and let me know your thoughts. Type T if you would make this trade and bring Brendan Donovan to Los Angeles. Type P if you would pass and keep those 3 prospects. And then tell me why. Tell me what you like or don't like about this proposal. Tell me if there's a different player you'd rather target or a different package you'd be willing to offer. I read every single comment, and I genuinely want to know where Dodgers fans stand on moves like this. The beauty of this time of year is that anything is possible. Rumors fly, proposals get floated, and sometimes deals that seem unlikely actually come together. The Dodgers have proven time and again that they're willing to be aggressive when they identify a player who fits their needs. Brendan Donovan checks a lot of boxes for what this team needs, and if the price is 3 prospects, including 2 from the top 10, I think you have to seriously consider making that move when you're trying to win championship number 3 in a row. That's everything I've got for you on this massive trade report. Make sure you smash that like button if you found this analysis helpful and informative. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you never miss an update on Dodgers news, rumors, trades, and everything else happening with this team. Turn on those post notifications so you're always among the first to know when I drop a new video. I've got more Dodgers content coming your way very soon, especially as we get closer to those winter meetings where things are going to heat up in a major way. Until next time, Dodgers fans, let's go get that three-peat. Peace out.